they had a crazy kid. 'Cause I was one of those kids, always knew what I wanted. They took me down to the airport to see all the planes depart, and watching them fly, something inside of me was starting. I was 8 when I told them that I'd be a pilot. But I was too young or too short, and there were no female captains. And my dad said, be patient, he said, just see what happens. But I took my first lesson, came down from the sky, and told my father I'd fly for the rest of my life. And I got my first job flying for a mortician in a tiny bonanza, just the corpse and me. $5 an hour for flying dead bodies. I had to climb over their faces just to get to my seat. And suddenly the wheels lift off, the ground is falling backwards. I am suddenly alive. Suddenly I'm in the cockpit. Suddenly everything's changed. Suddenly I'm not too young or too short, and the passengers in the back don't complain. Suddenly there's no one saying stay grounded, looking down, passing them by. Suddenly there's nothing in between me and the sky. American Airlines had the prettiest planes, so I applied as a flight engineer. But the World War II pilots, they all complained. They said girls shouldn't be in the cockpit. Hey lady, hey baby, hey, why don't you grab us a drink? And the flight attendants were my friends back then, and they said, are you better than us, do you think? But I kept getting higher than the World War II crew. They retired, and the girls all thought much higher of me. 1986, the first female American captain in history. Suddenly I'm in the cockpit. Suddenly I got my wings. Suddenly there's no one saying just to me, well, they can get their own drinks. Suddenly there's no one saying stay grounded, looking down, passing them by. Suddenly there's nothing in between me and the sky. Suddenly I got an all-female crew. The news stopped and made headlines across the world. Suddenly it stopped. No one's saying you can't, or you won't, or you know you're not anything, 'cause you're a girl. And suddenly I'm getting married, and we're putting pins on the maps where we float. Suddenly I am a mother, and suddenly shocked at how much they've grown. Suddenly I'm wondering how my parents would feel seeing me teaching men to be pilots. 'Cause suddenly I am a senior instructor, and somehow I'm 51. Suddenly I'm flying Paris to Dallas, across the Atlantic and feeling calm. Suddenly someone on air-to-air traffic says at 8:46 there's been a terrorist action, and the one thing I love more than anything was used as the bomb. Suddenly I'm in a hotel. Suddenly something has died. Suddenly there's something in between me and the sky. Woo!
Okay, big
Oh
sound,
my
huh?
gosh. How
Okay,
up?
shake it off, shake it off.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you know the question that I'm going to ask, what did you like about it, and what feedback do you have for yourself?
I forgot my lyrics.
No one could tell.
During the first chorus, but
But what did you like?
considering
So it was
I
the
like
toughest
that
question, right?
managed to It's so hard. I think I like that I still managed to actually focus on telling the story.
Uh,
Like, hi, Richard. Yeah, I actually focus on telling the story. I've done it better before, but obviously we don't talk about that. But yeah, I think I'm still impressed that I managed to continue connecting with the story despite the
okay.
circumstances. But I was super nervous, y'all. Woo.
It's just
So yeah.
singing at home.
No, not you guys here.
Okay, what else? What would you tell yourself?
Um, I'm so glad because I am using this song to really work on my belt. Like whenever every time I hit the higher notes, I'm really trying not to go to my head voice, and I think I'm mixing or actually belting it decently enough. So hooray,
Okay.
progress. Dom, I've been doing homework during this MCO, like really squatting and engaging my core. Ah! So
Good for
I like
you.
that. I still managed to do that. So yeah.
Good, good. Anything else?
And then I'm sweating like crazy because I'm like so focused. Yeah. So
Okay. In your own words,
yeah.
what's the story in this song? Talk as
Um,
Beverly right now.
wait, sum up the song or what?
Tell us whatever you can remember about whatever the song is telling us about. But be Beverly
So
right now.
be
First
Beverly.
person. Yeah.
Um, well, I remembered when there weren't many planes at all, and if there were planes, not a lot of female pilots were on in air, you know. So, but there was just really something about being up there, being so free, and that responsibility. It doesn't even feel like a responsibility anymore. It just feels so freeing, and I feel like I've led a good life just doing what I love, and to hear that something that I love has been an instrument in causing so much terror to other people is devastating, and it was something that I certainly didn't see coming at all. Yeah, that's what the song is about, I guess.
Okay. Any interesting stories that you can tell us as Beverly?
As Beverly,
In this song? Anything interesting that has happened to you?
anything interesting in the song? Oh, so yeah, I my dad didn't want me to fly actually. I was into horses and he thought that I would outgrow all this flying, but I was just like, who wants why run or ride on a horse when you can fly, right? So that was it. And even though I had a college degree in like Spanish and something else, that didn't bother me. I just really wanted to fly. So I didn't care that I had to fly dead bodies like literally from another state to another state because that meant I could fly. That meant that I had control and that I could go from A to B and back again and just do that every day. So I just needed to log in the hours, really. That's what I needed. And getting a job, well, screw those pilots, screw those boomery pilots. Technically, I'm a boomer, but pre-boomer pilots. But yeah, it's just really fun to see that you can do as good a job as them when flying. Because who says no, you're not gonna drive it with your dick, are you? So, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you've done you've given
Some
us a lot of
research.
information, so that's good. What I want you to do is think back of how you just did all this, telling us
Mm-hmm.
telling us what you just told us as Beverly.
Right.
And
Okay.
you had all these moments where you're like thinking of what had happened to you in life. And
Mm.
some parts made you so excited that you started, speaking faster and you like your body language showed it. And then there's some parts where you had to think a bit more for a while, like, yeah, I didn't really like this.
Mm.
All these nuances, all
Okay.
these colors, I think you
Mm-hmm.
need to add it into your performance now in this song
Right. Okay.
because it felt very rehearsed. It felt like you already knew this is what you're going to tell us, and
Mm.
that's it. But if you can
Right.
color it with more, like this and then that and then no this and oh yeah,
Someone
see all these things.
like a
Yeah,
spontaneous conversation, like
yeah.
oh,
So
and then you
imagine,
see, and then after that,
yeah, like you're sitting at a bar with a cup of
which I am.
Coke
Because
with
tell us.
orange juice or something, and then you're like, someone asks you, so what do you do in life? And blah, it all comes out.
Right, like word
All
vomit.
right. Yeah. So
Yes.
all right,
That's
we
what.
need that, and this will make the song so much more exciting to
Right.
us as we are listening. Because after a while, we kind of realize, okay, I don't even know what makes you excited about telling us this, because it's like you already know, you've already planned this whole speech.
Right. Okay.
Let's
Okay.
let's try. You want to try it again, and we won't do the whole song, but see if you can get into this as quickly as
With the
possible.
music? Or
Yeah.
sure.
There's so much in the music that gives you information that if you have time, just listen to the backing track a few times only without singing, and just
Okay.
analyze what instruments are being used and the rhythm changes and the patterns that keep coming in, the motives.
Right.
So much going on, and it's so beautiful.
Okay.
But
Cool.
we'll do that later. Okay, try.
Oh, but so what do we do now?
Okay, try telling us the story like it's the first time, and we're just chilling with you in a bar, and suddenly you get
Okay.
into this blah 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 blah. This is what
Maybe
blah 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 blah.
Start sitting down first, and then I'll get up when I feel like getting up.
Yeah,
I'm just worried I'll blast everyone. So wait,
It's
with
okay.
music or without music?
with music.
Okay. And let me drink water.
But the problem now is I don't want you to plan which part not to plan. You know what I mean? Because then it defeats the purpose. So just let each thought come to you as it comes.
Okay.
I think you know the song
I
well
will-
enough.
I will try, as long as I don't scrub my lyrics again.
We just don't want
I-
to see you sing it in a way that you know the song too well.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and then after this, we'll listen to the backing track a bit, and then we'll take a look at your belt, your notes a bit.
Yeah, there was one part where ooh. Okay. My parents must have thought they had a crazy kid, 'cause I was one of those kids who always knew what I wanted. They took me down to the airport to see all the planes departing, watching them fly. Something inside of me was starting. I was 8 when I told them that I'd be a pilot. But I was too young or too short, and there were no female captains. And my dad said, be patient, he said, just see what happens. But I took my first lesson, came down from the sky, and told my father I'd fly for the rest of my life. And I got my first job flying for a mortician in a tiny bonanza, just a corpse and me, $5 an hour for flying dead bodies. I had to climb over their faces just to get to my seat. And suddenly the wheels lift off the ground, it's falling backward. I am suddenly alive. Suddenly I'm in the cockpit. Suddenly everything's changed. Suddenly I'm not too young or too short, and the passengers in the back don't complain. Suddenly I'm flying company charters. Suddenly everything's high. Suddenly there's nothing in between me and the sky. American Airlines had the prettiest planes, so I applied as a flight engineer. But the World War II pilots, they all complained. They said girls shouldn't be in the cockpit. Hey lady, hey baby, hey, why don't you grab us a drink? And the flight attendants were my friends back then, and they said, are you better than us, do you think? But I kept getting hired, and the World War II crew, they retired, and the girls all thought much higher of me. 1986, the first female American captain in history. Suddenly I'm in the cockpit. Suddenly I've got my wings. Suddenly all of the
Okay.
Suddenly, bye.
Yeah. I should stop you now before we get too carried away. How does that
Oh.
feel?
A lot more cash, a lot more chill. Like I'm just like telling my friends at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feedback from everyone, how that felt for you guys. I think it felt like, yeah, I could tell which parts excite you more than others. I could tell when you're trying to think of the things that happened to you in your life and what your reactions to them were and how you feel
Right.
about them. Your relationship with your dad and the relationship with the other pilots, and yeah, it shows.
Right.
What we could add in now is it showed physically. Now we need to hear in
Mm-hmm.
your voice.
Right. Okay.
It's
Okay.
somewhat there, but I think you can play a bit more with it. Use your voice to. So if I am not watching you right now, I should
It
still be
all
able to
sounds good.
feel
Right.
through your voice how you feel about all this.
Okay.
It's somewhere there, but it's still.
I don't know. I'm still like, oh no, I'm not hitting this nicely. Oh no, I must.
Yeah, that is something you have to do outside of this performance, which you
Okay.
can do. Um,
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you also to do the squat on the high notes.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
to, I don't need to tell you why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Should I still sit or should I stand or what do I do?
Follow your heart.
Oh wow. Okay. Can we start?
But as long as you squat during those high notes.
How can you tell? I'm already like here. No kidding. Yeah, from the start or what?
No, let's start from. Is it easy for you to find the backing track at
Huh?
certain points? Can you? I kept
Uh,
getting hired at the World War II crew. That would be. I don't know where that is on the backing track.
after that American Airlines verse,
Yeah.
right? Yes, each suddenly should feel like suddenly. Like after a while, suddenly just doesn't seem like a word anymore. It just feels like
Yeah. And it's so many suddenlies.
no, no, it makes sense. Like I'm trying, but it's like it's so easy to get caught up with it because it's everywhere in the song. So it's like ah. But yes, I will work on that.
So monologue the song on your own. Like more.
Yeah, I try. Usually, whenever I monologue a song, I always write it out first, and then I try and make sense of it like a story, like grammatically like a story. So then when I read it out, it makes more sense, and then I'm like, oh right, this is like this because like that. Like for example, I didn't suddenly the wheels lift off, the ground is falling backwards. Like I used to see that as like one cohesive sentence and like it didn't seem to me like suddenly the wheels lift off was one or whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
I know I'm gonna try harder, my god.
Could you try this then? Could you start the song way back to where that bookshelf is, and then
You
slowly
mean
walk
where the
towards
low
us?
sound
Yes. Yeah.
platter is?
Yeah. That.
I will be so small. Alamak. I have
It's
to
okay.
like
Get bigger and bigger and bigger.
okay, with the music?
Yes, please.
Okay, then if that's wait, from the top?
Um,
Or from that part you said
from
just
that
now?
part, yeah.
Okay, wait, I need my live stream guy to help press the button. Oh wait, maybe not. Yeah, let me find it out. Oh, this is American Airlines part. Can we just start from here?
Sure.
Okay, wait. So reflect the notes. Come closer to squat during the high notes, and then what else? Each suddenly needs to feel like a different ding, ka-jing kind of situation. What else?
Okay. How about this?
No?
Every time you say suddenly, take a step forward.
Okay, that'll be like fast already. But okay. Aha!
Different size steps, small steps, big steps, but
Small
true steps.
but true steps. Hey. Okay. American Airlines have to free to stay. So I apply
Okay, stop.
Looking down, passing you by.
Yep, we're gonna do that again. That helped a bit. We're gonna do that again from the same part. Let's try to stand without shifting weight. Just stand really still. And when you take that one step forward, make it a nice choreographed step.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
A nice strong step. Yeah.
Not like a woo.
Yeah. So stand properly. Good posture.
I'll be like, she's like doing.
Stand like a pilot.
Yes. Actually, no, let me ask you this now. My issue with this song is that, and I think Wei Ling actually mentioned it somewhere, is that she's 51. I am not 51. And like when I was watching the show and like I watched it again recently, she was very like chill, like, you know, because she's totally freaking grounded despite being in the air so much, right? So like to me, I didn't want it to bother me, but it did bother me. Like, how do you play a character who is older than you? You know, I mean, there's still the whole storytelling about, you know, blah, 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 but you also need to sometimes be that person's age, kind of. So, I haven't figured it out yet. Do you have any tips?
Well, if
I'm so sorry.
it's not something I think you should think about too much right now, because then it's gonna cloud a lot of the things that you want to do that would be more important. I think.
Right. Okay. Okay.
I mean, there's no definite way that a 51 person should act anyway.
How what? What'd you say?
There's so many ways that a 50-year-old person could act. Who's to say that a 50-year-old person must act that way? Right?
Okay.
I mean, don't spend too much time trying to figure out how a 50-year-old person walks or talks right now, because
I don't want to be like, that's not it.
hi Kaha. So commit to the step that you take. Commit to the step that suddenly, every time you say something, just commit to that step. And
okay, like punch the floor with my steps. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But not just punch it.
What?
Not just punch the floor, but get excited with that suddenly. Let that excitement be the reason why you punch the floor.
Okay. Okay. 10. Oof. American Airlines have the prettiest names, so I applied as a flight engineer. But the world war II pilots, they all complain. These girls shouldn't be in the cockpit. Hey lady, hey baby, hey! Why don't you grab us a drink? And the flight attendants were my friends back then. And they said, are you better than us, do you think? And suddenly the eyes on the tree. Hang on, I gotta check the lyrics. I know!
And step forward.
And
Not
suddenly
don't climb slowly. Just and step. And then a step.
Right. Okay.
Imagine Megan's voice shouting in your head right now.
Oh my gosh. Trauma. PTSD. But no, correct. But I kept getting hired. Ya Allah. Okay, Ken, sorry, we're gonna do this again.
Yeah, just commit more to it.
Okay.
Breathe.
American Airlines have the prettiest names, so I applied as a flight engineer. But the World War II pilots, they all complain. They said girls shouldn't be in the cockpit. Hey lady, hey baby, hey! Why don't you grab us a drink? And the flight attendants were my friends back then. And they said, are you better than us, do you think? But I kept getting hired, and the World War II, they were tired, and the girls all thought much higher up. American captain in history. Suddenly I'm in the cockpit. Suddenly I got my wings. Suddenly all of the pilots were testing me. Well, they can get their own drinks. Suddenly there's no one saying, stay grounded. Looking down, passing them by. Suddenly there's nothing in between me and the sky. Suddenly I've got an all-female crew. The new stock, it made headlines across the world. Suddenly it's stop. No one's saying you can't, or you won't, or you know you're not anything, 'cause you're a girl. Suddenly I'm getting married, and we're putting pins on the map where we've flown. Suddenly I am a mother, and suddenly shocked at how much they've grown. Suddenly I'm wondering how my parents would feel seeing me teaching men to be pilots.
Use your whole body. Engage.
Suddenly I
Engage.
am a senior instructor, and somehow I'm 51. Suddenly I'm flying Paris to Dallas, across the Atlantic and feeling calm. When suddenly someone on air-to-air traffic says
Okay.
it's 8:46.
Okay. So all these suddenlies and the music is building up. You have to engage your whole body, breathe with the correct intention, just not the correct intention, but breathe with an intention.
I'm like,
And
the
get each
blue
breath to
of
mean
seven
something.
like,
Yeah, each breath that you take needs to mean something. Don't just make it because you have to complete the next phrase. Breathe with intention and
Okay.
do the squats when you practice. I'm going to rush a little bit because producer just said we're running out of time before we get kicked out.
Of course she is. Celine's always rushing people. But okay.
Okay, so she like wrap. I think you're adding more weight to the words. You're coloring things a bit more. The belt just needs a bit more work so that the tone does not get compromised when you belt.
I think right now it's like mixed, but not like an actual belt. So...
Yeah, we want that punch because the music has built up to that point where we want to be slapped with your voice and needs to. Oh!
Okay.
And when you hear the music, right, the percussion starts building up. There's so much going on in the music. You need to be part of that. You need to work together with the band, right?
Right.
Yeah. So when you
Workout,
do your squat while you sing, breathe with an intention so that it becomes meaningful.
Right.
And I think do the same thing also. Just slow down the song when you practice.
Okay. Right.
Slow down the track and then just slow it down so you have time to work with each note. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Totes. Goats.
Joe says, try and find what you think is the actual climax of the song. Feels like you keep getting your peak before the peak of the song, right? Yeah, you need to figure out where is this going to, and a lot of the information is in the music itself. It's helping you. A lot of parts of the song, the music just stops, or some instruments pull back, and all these things happen. This.
Yeah, there's like a lot of give and take.
Yeah, you need to be in sync with the music as well, because it sounds like you're just not.
I'm just like.
Yeah. So take time to listen to the music on its own without you singing along. You can get a lot of information from that. And then just take a look at the score as well. Even in the piano score that we have here, there's a lot of information in the music where it gets really active musically.
Right. Okay. I'll take a look at it again.